Imagine waking up every morning with a calm certainty, knowing that the very first moments you breathe, think, and act shape not just your day, but your entire life. This video is your invitation to reclaim those stolen dawn minutes, to transform the chaos and rush into a sanctuary of peace and purpose. Through 10 powerful Stoic lessons, you'll discover how ancient wisdom offers a blueprint for mastering your mornings, and in doing so, mastering yourself. This isn't about quick fixes or empty motivation. It's a profound reshaping of how you engage with the world before it demands your attention. You'll learn to breathe away anxiety, visualize challenges without fear, and take deliberate first steps that anchor your mind and heart. More than routines, these meditations build an unshakable fortress within, where patience turns obstacles into opportunities. Distractions fade before what truly matters, and character is hardened like steel in morning light. By the end, you won't just have better mornings. You'll wield the power to rewrite your story, claiming the role of author in a life defined by intention, resilience, and lasting meaning. Are you ready to unlock daily peace and become the calm commander of your own destiny? Then let's dive in, because the way you start your day sets the course for everything that follows. 1. The first breath. Setting your daily intention, visualizing the day ahead, preparing the mind for calm. 3. Choosing your first action, creating positive momentum. 4. Mastering your first words, speaking purpose into existence. 5. Focusing on the essential, prioritizing what truly matters. 6. Letting go of unnecessary burdens, freeing your mind. 7. Building inner fortress, mental strength to face the unexpected. 8. Training patience, cultivating calm reactions. 9. Strengthening character, affirming your core virtues. 10. Creating what lasts, investing in meaningful value. If this is making sense to you so far, like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Someone who, perhaps, feels their mornings slipping away before they've even truly begun. We're delving deeper into the profound impact of those dawn hours, revealing how ancient wisdom can truly transform your entire day and, in turn, your life. We've talked about the power of your first breath, grounding you in the present, and the foresight gained by visualizing the day ahead, not to predict, but to prepare. Now, let's move from thought to tangible reality, to the undeniable power of your very first deliberate action. Choosing your first action, creating positive momentum. After the quiet power of breath and the mental rehearsal of visualization, comes the moment of choice, your very first conscious action. What will it be? For many, it's a frantic reach for the phone, an immediate plunge into the digital deluge of notifications, emails, and social media. But the Stoics would urge a different path. They understood that every action, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you intend to be. Your first action of the day isn't just a physical movement, it's a declaration of intent, a powerful momentum builder for the hours that follow. Think about it. The moment you wake, your willpower reserves are at their peak. They haven't been depleted by decisions, distractions, or demands. This pristine reservoir is yours to direct. If you direct it towards something passive, something that merely reacts to external stimuli, like scrolling through endless feeds, you're effectively handing over control of your precious morning energy. You're letting the world dictate your initial focus, rather than asserting your own. Instead, consider an action that is intentional, aligned with your values, and within your complete control. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be as simple as making your bed with full attention, drinking a glass of water mindfully, or spending 5 minutes in quiet reflection, perhaps journaling a single thought or gratitude. The key isn't the complexity of the action, but its deliberateness. It's about doing something because you chose to do it, not because an external force pulled you. Seneca, a master of living an intentional life, might suggest that we must always be practicing how to live. And what better practice than to consciously choose your very first step? This initial, deliberate act creates a ripple effect. It sets a precedent. It tells your mind and your subconscious, I am in charge here. I am initiating, not merely responding. This builds a subtle yet powerful sense of agency, a quiet confidence that you are the architect of your day. You're not waiting for life to happen to you. You're actively creating it, one intentional action at a time. This isn't about productivity for its own sake. It's about establishing a foundation of self-mastery, laying a brick of intention that supports the entire structure of your day. 4. Mastering your first words, speaking purpose into existence. Just as your first action sets a physical tone, your first words, whether spoken aloud, whispered to yourself, or forming in your thoughts, carry immense power. For the Stoics, language wasn't just a tool for communication. It was a reflection of our inner world, and an instrument for shaping it. Our words, particularly those nascent thoughts that surface with consciousness, directly influence our perception, our mood, and our interactions. How often do your first words of the day emerge as a complaint? Ugh, another Monday. I didn't get enough sleep. I have so much to do. These aren't just innocent remarks. They are incantations, spells that you cast upon your own day. They reinforce a narrative of burden, scarcity, and reluctance. And as Epictetus wisely observed, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction begins with your internal dialogue, with the words you choose to frame your reality. Instead, practice framing your reality with purpose and gratitude before you utter a word to anyone else, or even silently in your own mind. Choose words that affirm your intention. Today, I will approach challenges with patience. I am grateful for this new day and the opportunities it brings. I am capable. This isn't about blind optimism or denying difficulties. It's about consciously directing your internal narrative towards resilience and virtue. It's about exercising the Stoic discipline of assent, choosing which thoughts to validate and amplify. Extend this to your first interactions. When you greet a loved one, a colleague, or even the barista, let your words be intentional. Avoid the knee-jerk complaint about the weather or the traffic. Instead, practice genuine connection. Good morning. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being here. These small acts of mindful communication reinforce your commitment to virtue, to kindness, to justice, to a calm and rational disposition. They spread positive ripples outward, influencing not just your own state, but the emotional environment around you. The Stoics understood that true strength lies not just in enduring hardship, but in maintaining inner tranquility and virtue amidst it. Your words are a direct conduit to this inner fortress. By mastering your first words, you are not just speaking purpose into existence. You're sculpting your perception, fortifying your inner world, and setting a precedent for conscious, virtuous communication throughout your entire day. It's a powerful, often overlooked, aspect of self-mastery. Focusing on the essential, prioritizing what truly matters in our hyper-connected, endlessly demanding world. The greatest challenge isn't a lack of things to do, but a lack of clarity on what truly matters. We wake up to an inbox overflowing, a to-do list stretching endlessly, and a constant barrage of information vying for our attention. It's a recipe for overwhelm and a sure path to feeling perpetually behind. The Stoics, long before the digital age, grappled with similar human tendencies toward distraction and triviality. They understood that true progress comes from discernment, from the rigorous practice of distinguishing between the essential and the superfluous. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, famously reminded himself, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you, with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions." Yes, you can do it, if you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life, and stop being aimless. Stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. Stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. This isn't just about efficiency. It's about existential focus. In your morning, after your breath, visualization, and intentional action, dedicating time to identify what is truly essential is paramount. What is the one or two things that, if completed, would make the biggest difference in your day, aligning you with your long-term goals and values? This isn't about clearing your entire to-do list. It's about identifying the vital few and giving them your undivided, focused attention. This requires courage, the courage to say no to the urgent but unimportant, the courage to delay gratification, and the courage to resist the siren call of distractions. For a modern Stoic, this might mean spending your first productive hour on a challenging work project that moves the needle, rather than answering routine emails. It might mean dedicating time to a creative pursuit that feeds your soul, even if it feels less productive on the surface. It's about understanding that our time and energy are finite, and thus incredibly valuable. Every yes to a non-essential task is a no to something that truly matters. By consciously prioritizing the essential in your morning, you are not merely ticking off tasks. You are reinforcing your values, aligning your actions with your purpose, and building a foundation of integrity. You are asserting control over your attention, directing it toward what contributes to your flourishing, your eudaimonia. This deliberate focus on the essential transforms your day from a series of reactive responses into a purposeful journey, guided by your deepest convictions. 6. Letting go of unnecessary burdens, freeing your mind. As the morning progresses and the world begins to demand your attention, it's easy to accumulate mental baggage, regrets from yesterday, anxieties about tomorrow, the weight of others' opinions, unresolved conflicts. These are all unnecessary burdens that can hijack your present moment and steal your peace. The Stoics were masters of mental decluttering, urging us to consciously discern what is truly within our control and to ruthlessly let go of what is not. This is the heart of the dichotomy of control, arguably the most fundamental Stoic teaching. Epictetus puts it plainly: some things are in our control, and others are not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in a word, whatever are not our own actions. Most of the burdens we carry, the shame over a past mistake, the fear of an uncertain future outcome, the anger at someone else's behavior, the need for external validation, fall squarely into the category of things not in our control. Imagine carrying a backpack full of rocks as you try to navigate your day. Each rock represents a burden you're clinging to that serves no purpose. The criticism you received last week, the argument you replayed in your head 100 times, the worry about a presentation next month, the desire for someone else to change. Each rock drains your energy, slows your pace, and obscures your vision. In your morning, consciously practice shedding these rocks. Take a few moments to identify the specific mental burdens you might be carrying. Is it a lingering resentment? A fear of failure? A compulsion to please everyone? Once identified, consciously, verbally, or mentally, release it. Acknowledge its presence, but then firmly state, "This is not within my control, and I choose not to carry it." This isn't about denial. It's about radical acceptance and focusing your energy where it can actually make a difference. On your own responses, your own actions, your own character. You cannot change yesterday, predict tomorrow, or control another person's thoughts. What you can control is how you respond to these realities right now. By letting go of these unnecessary burdens, you create mental space. You free up cognitive and emotional energy that can then be directed towards your essential priorities, your virtuous actions, and your inner peace. This liberation isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice, a mindful exercise in distinguishing between what truly demands your attention and what merely seeks to consume it. Freeing your mind in the morning allows you to step into the day unencumbered, ready to engage with clarity and equanimity. 7. Building inner fortress, mental strength to face the unexpected. Life is inherently unpredictable. Despite our best efforts to plan and visualize, the unexpected will inevitably arise. A sudden challenge at work, a conflict in a relationship, a minor irritation that threatens to derail your carefully crafted morning. For the Stoics, true strength wasn't about avoiding these challenges, but about building an unshakable inner fortress, a resilient mindset that could withstand the slings and arrows of fortune without losing its composure. This inner strength, cultivated daily, is your most powerful asset. How do you build such a fortress? Not by hoping for easy days, but by preparing for difficult ones. Not by denying pain, but by understanding its nature. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but rather calmly contemplating potential setbacks, considering how you might respond virtuously if they were to occur. If your morning commute is usually smooth, what if there's unexpected traffic? If your presentation is planned meticulously, what if the technology fails? This isn't pessimistic. It's profoundly liberating. By mentally rehearsing challenges, you strip them of their power to surprise and overwhelm. You engage your rational mind before the emotional amygdala takes over. You pre-decide to respond with patience, courage, and resilience, rather than panic or anger. This proactive mental preparation is like building thicker walls for your fortress, reinforcing it against any breach. This morning practice also involves reinforcing your core Stoic principles. Understanding what is truly good, virtue, bad, vice, and indifferent, everything else. When an external event rattles you, your inner fortress reminds you that your tranquility doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on your judgment and your response. The lost wallet, the rude comment, the missed deadline, these are indifferents. They are not inherently good or bad. It is your interpretation and reaction that assigns them meaning. In modern life, our inner fortress is bombarded daily. Notifications, news cycles designed to provoke anxiety, constant comparisons on social media, all seek to breach our mental defenses. By dedicating your morning to strengthening your mind, through reflection on Stoic principles, mindful action, and conscious intention, you equip yourself with the tools to deflect these attacks. You cultivate an inner calm that isn't easily disturbed, a mental resilience that allows you to face the day's inevitable challenges, not with fear, but with an unwavering sense of your own capacity to endure and respond virtuously. Your inner fortress becomes your sanctuary, a place where you are always sovereign, no matter the chaos outside its walls. Is in fact an active and powerful discipline, especially crucial in our fast-paced, instant gratification culture. We expect immediate responses, swift resolutions, and uninterrupted progress. When these expectations are unmet, a slow internet connection, a delayed appointment, an unresponsive colleague, our immediate reaction is often frustration, irritation, or even anger. The Stoics, however, recognized patience as a cornerstone of wisdom and tranquility. It is the ability to maintain composure and clarity of judgment when confronted with delays, difficulties, or demands that are beyond our immediate control. Training patience in your morning is a profound act of self-mastery. It begins with acknowledging that many aspects of your day will unfold at their own pace, not yours. The traffic light will change when it changes. The coffee will brew when it's ready. Your children will move at their speed, not yours. Instead of fighting against these realities, which only generates internal conflict and suffering, embrace them as opportunities to practice. When you encounter a minor delay or annoyance in your morning, instead of reflexively reacting with impatience, take a breath. Remind yourself, this is an external event, indifferent in itself. My reaction is within my control. This is not about being a doormat. It's about reclaiming your inner peace from external triggers. It's about consciously choosing to respond with calm, rather than being swept away by a wave of irritation. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized that we should not be disturbed by external things, but by our judgment of them. When you are stuck in traffic, the traffic itself is not disturbing you. It is your judgment that this delay is bad or unfair that causes your distress. By reframing, by practicing patience, you can see the delay as an opportunity for reflection, for listening to an audiobook, or simply for being present. Cultivating patience also extends to your own growth and progress. We live in an age of quick fixes, but true personal development, the strengthening of character, takes time and consistent effort. Your morning routine, if approached with Stoic patience, is not about immediate transformation, but about incremental, virtuous steps. Don't get frustrated if you miss a day or feel you're not making rapid progress. Instead, treat each morning as a fresh opportunity to practice, to learn, and to grow, understanding that real change is a gradual unfolding, like the slow, steady growth of a mighty tree. By training patience, you develop a deep well of inner calm, allowing you to navigate life's inevitable frustrations with grace and unwavering resolve, preserving your mental peace for what truly matters. Strengthening character, affirming your core virtues. The ultimate aim of Stoicism isn't just to feel good, but to be good. It's not about achieving external success, but about cultivating inner excellence, developing a strong, virtuous character. For the Stoics, the four cardinal virtues were wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Every decision, every action, every thought was seen as an opportunity to practice and affirm these virtues. Your morning, therefore, becomes a crucial arena for this character building, a daily reaffirmation of who you aspire to be. How do you strengthen your character in the early hours? It begins with conscious intent. As you move through your morning rituals, your first breath, your chosen action, your mindful words, connect them to a virtue. If you choose to engage in a challenging task first, that's an act of courage. If you speak kindly to your family, that's an act of justice and temperance. If you reflect on what truly matters, that's an act of wisdom. Take time to reflect on your core values. What kind of person do you want to be today? Not just what you want to do, but who you want to be. Do you want to be honest, even if it's uncomfortable? Do you want to be fair, even when it costs you? Do you want to be self-controlled, even amidst temptation? These aren't abstract ideals. They are practical guides for your daily conduct. This morning reflection solidifies your internal compass. It reminds you that true success isn't measured by wealth or status, but by the integrity of your actions and the purity of your intentions. When you choose to resist the urge to procrastinate, you strengthen your temperance. When you speak up for what is right, even softly, you strengthen your courage and justice. When you seek to understand before being understood, you strengthen your wisdom. Strengthening character is not about perfection, but about consistent effort and a commitment to moral improvement. There will be days when you fall short, when your patience wears thin, or your actions don't align perfectly with your virtues. The Stoic response isn't self-recrimination, but learning and recommitting. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your own judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Apply this to your own perceived failings. Acknowledge, learn, and then return to the path of virtue with renewed resolve. By consciously affirming and practicing your core virtues each morning, you are not just preparing for the day. You are sculpting your soul. You are building an unshakable foundation of integrity and moral strength, ensuring that your actions throughout the day are a true reflection of the person you aspire to be, living a life of purpose and profound meaning, creating what lasts, investing in meaningful value. The culmination of mastering your mornings, living with intention, and building a virtuous character is the ability to create something that truly lasts, something of meaningful value, not just for yourself, but for the world. In our transient modern world, where trends fade and desires shift, the Stoics offered a powerful antidote. Focus on what is enduring, on contributions that transcend fleeting pleasures and external accolades. This isn't about chasing fame or leaving a grand legacy in the conventional sense. It's about aligning your daily efforts with something deeper, something that contributes to the common good and your own flourishing. What does it mean to create what lasts? It could be the consistent cultivation of a skill that serves others. It could be the dedication to raising virtuous children. It could be the integrity and excellence you bring to your craft, knowing that quality endures. It could be the quiet, consistent act of kindness you extend to strangers. It's about realizing that your time, your energy, and your unique capabilities are precious resources, and by directing them towards meaningful endeavors, you imbue your life with profound purpose. In your morning, as you set your intentions and prioritize your essential tasks, ask yourself, how does this contribute to something lasting? Am I building skills that will benefit my community? Am I fostering relationships that are rooted in genuine connection and virtue? Am I contributing to knowledge, beauty, or justice in some small way? This shifts your perspective from merely getting through the day to actively shaping a meaningful existence. Seneca, in his letters, often speaks of the importance of living for the general advantage, not just for oneself. He encouraged a life of continuous learning and contribution, emphasizing that no one has traveled a road that is not smooth for them by sharing what they have found with another. The meaningful value you create doesn't have to be monumental to be significant. A parent who dedicates their morning to patiently teaching a child, a writer who uses the quiet dawn hours to craft words of wisdom, a community member who thoughtfully plans how to address a local issue. These are all acts of creating what lasts, investing in value that resonates beyond the immediate moment. By consciously choosing to invest your mornings in these ways, you are not merely building a better routine, you are building a better life, brick by intentional brick. You are aligning your daily efforts with your deepest values, ensuring that your time is not just consumed, but meaningfully spent. This commitment to creating lasting value is the ultimate expression of Stoic wisdom in action, a life lived with purpose, resilience, and a profound sense of contribution. The way you start your day isn't just a habit, it's a profound declaration of self-mastery. It's an opportunity to practice the art of living, to sculpt your character, and to anchor yourself in an unshakable inner peace, no matter the storms outside. You have within you the power to transform chaos into calm, rush into reflection, and anxiety into intention. Remember Marcus Aurelius's timeless question, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain about if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. This isn't about external pressure. It's about recognizing your inherent purpose, your capacity for virtue, and your power to choose. Are you ready to reclaim your mornings, and in doing so, reclaim the authorial power over your own story? If this journey resonates with you, please take a moment to like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more explorations into ancient wisdom for modern life, and leave a comment below. Share your own morning rituals, your challenges, or simply one Stoic lesson that struck a chord today. Let's build a community committed to living with intention and purpose, one mindful morning at a time. Thank you for joining me.